Hey, this is Jet from jetspencer.com, and today I'm going to be doing a book review for you. I'm currently in Florida, wearing my pajamas in my cave. Not nearly as awe-inspiring as this book is, which is Pimp by Iceberg Slim. And I love this book. I gave it 4 solid stars. It was really good, something that I wouldn't normally pick up off the bookshelf, but I've always been interested in understanding the psychology behind pimping, as well as trying to figure out exactly what lies beneath a very much surface level pop culture identity that has been driven into many people's minds of what it means to be a pimp. But the cold hard truth of this book is a much more dark and decrepit way of living a lifestyle, and not nearly as luxurious and awesome as the pop culture icons would have you believe. And the real deal about it is that this book is not for the weak of heart. It is a book that involves a lot of violence. It involves a lot of tragedy, a lot of heartache. I mean, it read in a way that a Shakespearean play would go out, pretty much absolutely dreadful at every turn, but at the exact same time, you are completely involved and indulging yourself on the delicacies of a tragic event going on behind the scenes in front of your very eyes, page by page. It was a real page turner. It was good. I loved it. And I think the underlying theme of the book is, since it's an autobiography from an actual pimp's viewpoint, it gives you a much more solid base of understanding the dark underworld that is the streets. I mean, many people see this pimp thing and they're like, oh, unicorns and rainbows, but it's much darker than that. I mean, this guy literally beats his women if they don't go and work on the street for him. He shot a girl, he almost killed a girl, he armed theft, armed robbery. I mean, this is a bad dude. Plus he escapes prison at one point. I mean, it's freaking crazy. This guy's nuts. Just to think that this was an actual person's life at some point is just kind of, it's hard to wrap your head around sometimes, because the fiction and the non-fiction sometimes is just so hard to believe, but this was a reality-driven storyline, and that's why I was so involved. I think many things that the pimp game does offer is it gives you a base underlying psychology as to why women do what they do. I think ultimately, like he said, you can't make a square into a hoe. A square is somebody who won't hoe for money, or somebody who would pay for sex, or someone who's just not interested in either being a whore or getting into the pimp game. And it is this psychology which ultimately is a way to brainwash the women into filling the pimp's pockets, because that's ultimately what it's all about. The pimp goes, and there's a quote from the book. He says, listen, the pimp game is not about sex, it's about the skull. It's not a sex game, it's a skull game. It's about getting in the girl's head and ultimately filling her head full of all these fantasies, these rainbows, these pot of golds, these polar bears, this amazing lifestyle on the beach, about how the pimp and her are just going to be alone, it's just going to be me and you, girl, and this, that, and the other. And ultimately it's just filling her head full of pipe dreams and really just making her hit the streets until she just blows out. It's called cop and blow, and basically the idea is you just ride the girl until she just can't take no more and she just blows out, but you just collect all the money. I really recommend this book. Once again, it's really dark. It really gets out there. I love the fact that this guy was willing to write the book, really highlighting what it actually means to be a pimp underneath it all, not this glorified version of what most people think a pimp is. And that's it. Once again, the book is Pimp by Iceberg Slim. I put a link to the book below, and if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and or comment. This is Jet from jetspencer.com. Good fortune to you, my friend. Stay pimpin'. And the book that we are going to be doing today is Pimp by Iceberg Slim. And as the name says, I'm guessing you're thinking it's about pimping, and you, my friend, are correct.